Baking delicious cakes has a lot to do with flavor, but also with texture, and I love these lemon ricotta cakes. They're light and spongy, and the lemon makes them taste like summer sunshine. In this chapter, I'm going to teach you how to bake 4 individual lemon ricotta cakes. I'm going to teach you how to zest off some lemon. We're going to sift our dry ingredients, cream out that butter and sugar, fold in that beautiful ricotta, and bake those off. And then we'll finish with a dusting of confectioner sugar and some candied lemon rinds. Citrus is a great sour flavor star. I use the terminology flavor star just to classify whatever ingredient is going to be most prominent on your palate. But this can be achieved with other things like sour cherries or grapefruit would be a great option. So first, we're gonna zest our lemon. So we're just gonna zest all the way around. And the reason that we wanna do this is because those oils give such a light and bright flavor. Okay, that's good. So we're just gonna place this into a bowl. Swoop. And now I'm gonna cut this down and juice this out. So what you wanna do is you're just gonna juice out as much juice as possible. And 1 lemon typically will render about 2 tablespoons to 1/4 of a cup of juice, which is exactly what we need for this recipe. Okay, that looks good. Now, let's sift our dry ingredients together. We're gonna grab our flour. Okay, that looks good. Then we're gonna add in our salt and our baking soda. It's gonna give you that light and fluffy texture. No dense cakes here. All flavor, all the best textures. All right, so now that that's done, you just wanna pour your pre-sifted ingredients along the length of the parchment paper. That looks beautiful. We're gonna set it over here because we're gonna use that after we cream our butter and sugar. Let's grab those. So in goes 1 stick of room temperature butter. Okay, in goes our sugar. We're gonna lock this in and just let it go. We're gonna let that go until it's light and fluffy and paler in its appearance. Oh, it looks perfect. So I'm gonna stop it here. That looks great. It is very fluffy, very light, and much paler in appearance. So now we're gonna add in our eggs 1 at a time. But before that, we're gonna scrape down our sides. So the reason we wanna be scraping down our sides is so that we make sure that each ingredient is properly incorporated and no bits of unmixed batter are left throughout. So we're gonna pop this back on, lock it back into place. We're gonna start on low. That is very important. You don't wanna have any type of splatter. And we're gonna drop in our first egg. We're gonna incorporate 1 egg at a time, allowing them to emulsify fully. Okay, I don't see any yellow, so now it's time to add in our last egg. Now while that's coming in together, I'm gonna go preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Our last egg is looking fully incorporated. So next, we're gonna have our ricotta go in. And I really love to use ricotta in this cake. It adds such a fluffy and light texture, and it also gives a depth of flavor because ricotta is a cheese, which a lot of people would not normally assume to be in baking, especially when you're sweet baking. But I'm telling you, paired with the sourness from the lemons and the sweetness from the butter and sugar, it makes a perfect pairing. So we're gonna let this start on low, and then we're gonna notch it up to medium and let that fold in together. Okay, let's kick it up to medium. We're gonna let that fold in for about 30 seconds. Oh, this looks perfect. We're gonna stop it here. It's so beautiful. It's folded in quite nicely. So now we're gonna finish by adding in our lemon juice, our vanilla, and finish with our lemon zest. Oh, it smells so good. Lock that in, and we're gonna let this go until fully incorporated. Start on low, and then increase your speed to medium for about 1 minute. That's perfect. So now we are going to funnel in our dry ingredients. So just fold and pinch your back, and then you're gonna slowly put them in, like so. Ooh, that's come together beautifully. We're gonna stop it here. We wanna mix just until combined. We don't wanna over manipulate it. So I'm gonna pop this open. I wish smell-o-vision was real. It smells incredible. So I'm gonna pop this off one last time and scrape down those sides just to make sure everything has incorporated evenly all the way to the bottom. Okay, all ingredients well mixed. I'm using 4 individual pans that are a little bit smaller today, but if you wanted to make one larger one, it will change the cooking time a little bit longer, but that's not a big deal and it's totally doable. So now I'm going to take a knob of butter and just drop a small piece into each pan, like that. And you want to make sure that you're touching every inch of your pan, getting it very well covered in butter and evenly distributed, because that's what's going to make sure that your cake comes out clean and beautiful with no chunks missing or stuck to the bottom. You're going to save yourself a lot of frustration. So I'm going to repeat this process on each pan. Okay, looks good. This is very important. Please remember to line your pan with your parchment after butter and before flour. So the reason that you want to make sure you put your parchment down right after buttering your pan is because if you put your flour down first, it will not stick in the way in which you need it. And then you're just making an extra step and creating undue frustration. So you can just kind of create a little fold point like that, and it will stay. You want to make sure to pull it taut, removing any air bubbles. Okay. Now that we've finished doing our parchment placement, we are going to dust with just a little bit of flour. It's really just to catch those sides where there's no parchment present. Just a little bit in here. There you go. That should work. And I'm going to show you one of my tricks. So I place my next pan directly underneath, and I just shake and tap it. There you go. And then you flip and do the other side. And then it can go directly into the next pan and you're not wasting. Okay, so now that we've prepared our pans, now we can put in our batter. You just want to try and distribute it as evenly as possible so that everything will cook at the same time. Then using our rubber spatula, we're just going to pat them down gently and smooth them out. Looks great. It smells so good. All right, that looks great. Okay. So now that they're set and ready for the oven, we're going to use a baking sheet to transfer over. And now we're going to transfer to our oven, which has been preheating at 350 degrees. We're going to pop those in and we're going to let those go for at least 30 minutes and we'll come back and check and see how they're doing. So these have been baking for about 30 minutes. Let's take them out and see how they're doing. Oh, they look gorgeous. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna insert a toothpick in. because we want to test to make sure they're done. Let's see. Oh, it's perfect. These are ready. So a little bit of crumb on the ends, perfectly normal. We don't want to see wet batter or have any jiggly tops. So let's transfer these over to a cooling rack. Just gonna carefully take out 2. Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna let those cool down for a while, but while they are, we're gonna do something fun. We're gonna do a quick candy by removing the rinds with a citrus curler of 2 lemons. So we're gonna grab a bowl and we're gonna get to work. So you're just gonna take it, press down firm, and go around the base, creating these beautiful little curls. And you just repeat this until the whole lemon is bare. This is my favorite part, other than the actual eating of the cake, of course. Beautiful curls. Okay, that looks good. So now that that's done, we're gonna grab our salt and our confectioner sugar. So first, we're gonna cover with our salt. And then just a tablespoon or 2 of sugar, and the rest we're gonna reserve for when we dust them atop our cakes. And now my favorite part, we're gonna massage all of this in. You just wanna make sure they're really well coated, and that salt and that sugar is gonna just break them down and soften them until almost like a candy. We're gonna let them break down and do their thing, and I'm gonna rinse my hands and be back. Okay, so our cakes have been cooling now for a while. We completely left them alone, which is key. Now we're gonna transfer them over to our board. We're gonna gently lift them out. And this is why I love parchment paper. Look at that. It does all the work for you. So you just gently roll it off, place it directly on. You're gonna just repeat this with each one. So I'm gonna grab this board because we are gonna dust these with confectioner sugar. I'm telling you, the sheer joy that I get is wonderful. And my nieces often will help me do this part. It's their favorite. They call it making it snow. So now we're gonna grab our metal sheet and our reserved confectioner sugar, like that, and set that over there. And now we're gonna make it snow. So you just lightly cover each one. I totally get why this is my niece's favorite part. That looks good. So now we're gonna finish these off with our candied lemon rinds. They're so gorgeous, and I'm telling you, they smell even better. You just wanna top each one with a couple, just like that. This is definitely an opportunity to get your hands dirty, don't worry. There we go. I'm telling you, it smells absolutely incredible, and it just gives you a greater depth of flavor. Oh, you guys are beautiful. Oh, you smell so good. Oh my goodness. When I tell you how gorgeous. Oh my goodness. When I tell you, this texture is so spongy, so light, and that lemon really comes through. Such a perfect pairing. That is absolutely one of my favorite cakes to both make and to eat. In this chapter, I taught you how to make my lemon ricotta cakes. We learned how to zest our lemons, sift all of our dry ingredients, cream off our butter and sugar, fold in that delicate ricotta. We bake them off. We finish them with dusting of confectioner sugar and some beautiful, delicate little lemon rinds. I hope you enjoy this taste of a little summer sunshine.